Have you been carrying anxiety all day, even when everything looks fine on the outside? Your mind feels tired, your heart feels heavy, and peace feels far away. Stay with me for a few minutes. This prayer may be exactly what your heart needs today.
Maybe today you smiled at everyone around you, but deep inside, you were fighting a battle nobody knows about. You answered messages, you finished your responsibilities. You told people, "I'm okay." But when you were finally alone, the thoughts started coming back. Will I be okay? Will things ever get better? Can I really handle tomorrow? That kind of anxiety can be exhausting, not just physically, but deep in your heart and mind. It feels like carrying a heavy weight that nobody else can see. Maybe you've been holding worries silently for weeks. Maybe you've been praying quietly, hoping someone understands what you're going through. And I want you to remember this today. God sees the struggles nobody sees. He hears the silent prayers you whisper when words are hard to find. That is why we need to remember what God says about anxiety.
Sometimes anxiety feels so overwhelming because we are trying to control things that were never meant to be carried alone. We think about tomorrow before it even arrives. We replay conversations. We imagine problems that haven't happened yet. We feel responsible for fixing everything and making sure everyone is okay. Maybe you've laid awake at night thinking about your family, your finances, your health, or decisions you need to make. Your body is resting, but your mind is still carrying 100 different worries. Maybe you're sitting in your car after work, holding the steering wheel, trying to calm your thoughts before going inside. You take a few extra minutes because you don't want your family to see how overwhelmed you really feel. The weight becomes heavier when we try to hold every burden by ourselves, because sometimes the thing exhausting you most is not the problem itself, it's carrying it alone. Many times anxiety grows when we carry responsibilities God never asked us to carry. We were created to trust Him, not to carry the weight of the world on our own shoulders. You were never created to carry the weight of the world alone. God understands your fears, and He invites you to bring those heavy thoughts to Him. When anxiety feels bigger than your strength, God gives us an invitation. He doesn't tell us to hide our fears. He tells us to bring them to Him. In Philippians 4:6-7, we read, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." This doesn't mean a believer will never feel anxious. It means when anxiety comes, we don't have to face it alone. We can turn our fear into prayer. We can bring our questions, our worries, and our pain to God. And then something beautiful happens. God gives a peace that goes beyond what we can understand. That peace doesn't always mean the situation changes immediately. The bills may still be there. The answer may still be waiting. But God changes the heart facing the situation. He gives strength, calm, and a reminder that we are not walking through the storm alone. God's peace is different from the peace the world offers. It doesn't mean every problem disappears overnight. It means you can have a calm heart even when life still feels uncertain. Philippians 4:7 says that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. Think about that. God's peace becomes a guard over your thoughts, your emotions, and your fears. When your mind starts imagining the worst, His presence reminds you that you are held. When your heart feels overwhelmed, He gives you strength to keep going. Maybe you're waiting for an answer right now. Maybe you're facing a situation you cannot control. The uncertainty may still be there, but you don't have to let fear take over. Your anxiety may be loud, but God's presence is stronger. His peace can meet you right in the middle of the storm.
Imagine someone named Emily.
Most people around her would have never guessed how much anxiety she was carrying. She showed up for work. She answered calls. She smiled and told people, "I'm doing okay." But every morning, before her feet even touched the floor, her mind was already running. She would think about the future, her responsibilities, the things she couldn't control. Some nights she would stare at the ceiling, exhausted but unable to quiet her thoughts. For a long time, Emily's prayer was simple. God, please remove this problem. Please make everything easier. But slowly, something changed. She began praying from a place of surrender. God, I don't understand everything happening right now, but help me trust you through this. She started reading God's promises and reminding herself that fear was not bigger than His presence. Her circumstances didn't change overnight. The challenges were still there, but Emily changed. Fear no longer controlled every thought. Her heart became calmer. She learned that surrender was not losing control, it was trusting the one who holds it. Sometimes God changes our situation. Sometimes He changes us while we wait. There comes a moment when we have to stop fighting every battle alone and learn to place our worries in God's hands. In Matthew 11:28, Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That invitation is for the tired heart, the person who feels overwhelmed, the person who has been strong for too long. Surrendering anxiety doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying everything by yourself. Pray before panic takes over. Bring God your fears before they become overwhelming. Trust His timing even when you don't understand the process. Remember the ways He has helped you before. You don't have to solve everything today. Some answers take time. Some seasons require patience. But you can walk through today knowing God is holding what you cannot control. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." Father, I come to you tired. I come to you with the thoughts I cannot quiet and the worries I cannot carry anymore. You know the fears I hide from others. You know the battles I fight in silence. You see the moments when I smile outside, but my heart feels heavy inside. Lord, calm the thoughts that keep me awake at night. Bring peace to the places in my heart where anxiety has taken over. Help me release the fear about my family, my future, my health, and the things I cannot control. Remind me that I don't have to walk through tomorrow's worries today. When my mind feels overwhelmed, be my strength. When my heart feels afraid, be my comfort. Teach me to trust your timing. Help me remember that your presence is greater than my anxiety. Today I place my mind, my heart, and my future into your hands. I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know you are already there. Amen.
Before you leave today, remember this. Anxiety is something you experience, but it does not define who you are. Your fears may feel powerful, but they do not control your future. God is still near. He is still working, even in the moments when you cannot see what He is doing. The unanswered questions, the waiting, and the difficult seasons do not mean God has forgotten you. He is walking with you through every step. So when your mind starts racing again, come back to this truth. You are loved, you are seen, and you are not alone. Take a moment and say this with faith. God, I trust you with my mind, my heart, and my future. If this prayer spoke to your heart today, write in the comments, God, give me your peace. Let this be your reminder that you are placing your anxiety into His hands.